Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Today we're looking at the top 7 best moments in NBA All-Star Game history. Let's get right into the video. Number 7, 1962, Wilt the Still sets the standard. If not for Greg Popovich's swarming defense to end the 2016 All-Star Game in Toronto, Paul George might have snared the event's all-time scoring record. Instead, the Indiana Pacers swingman finished with 41 points, just shy of Wilt Chamberlain's 42 points in 1962. Despite finishing on the losing side of the West 196-173 victory, they weren't trying to let me break that record, George said during a post-game interview with TNT per ESPN. I was unaware though. I shot the three when I could have got a layup. If I had known that I was close to the record, I would have dunked. Back in Chamberlain's day, there was no three-point shot, not that he needed one. He dominated inside, instead hitting 17 of 23 from the field and grabbing 24 rebounds. Chamberlain's efforts were far from enough to keep the East afloat. The West dominated 150-130 behind Bob Pettit's MVP performance, 25 points, and an All-Star ace record, 27 rebounds. That both marks still stand as a testament to show the sport has shifted further outward in favor of guards and wings. But while Chamberlain's point total has been challenged, the fact that it meant enough 54 years later to inspire a targeted defensive tactic from Pop says all you need to know about how hollowed it still is. Number 6, 1972, Mr. Clutch rescues the West. Rarely do NBA players have career years in their 30s. Jerry West had put together plenty of banner seasons during his 20s, but it wasn't until he turned 33 that he managed to frost his cake-worthy career. His Los Angeles Lakers started that season on an NBA record 33-game winning streak and ended it with their first title since leaving Minneapolis. And the only one of West's amazing career in between, Mr. Clutch strengthened his claim to his all-timer of a nickname during the 1972 All-Star Game and on the Lakers' home floor at the Forum in Inglewood. West was named MVP in part for tallying 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, but largely for the 20-foot pull-up jumper he hit to beat the buzzer and give the Western Conference a 112-110 win. As it happens, the game winner came against Walt Frazier, whom West would see again when the Lakers met by the New York Knicks during the NBA Finals. After dropping Game 1 by 22 points, LA would go on to win 4 in a row, and Wilt Chamberlain, not West, taking home Finals and MVP honors. Number 5, 2001, The Answers MVP preview. Speaking of iconic years, few NBA players have put together complete campaigns like the one Allen Iverson authored in 2000 and 2001. That season, he earned his second scoring title, 31.1 points per game, was named regular season MVP, and carried the Philadelphia 76ers to 56 regular season wins and an Eastern Conference crown. The Answer's role as David in a league filled with Goliaths came into sharper focus than ever during the All-Star Game in Washington, D.C. Iverson's scrappy Eastern Conference squad could only hold a candle to the big bad West, which jumped out to a 11-0 lead during the first quarter and led by 21 with 9 minutes to go in the fourth. But AI would not be denied, nor would he let his teammates take it easy, even in a meaningless exhibition. He scored 15 of his game-high 25 points during those final 9 minutes to lead the East all the way back before Stephen Marbury sealed the 111-110 win with a pair of threes in the final 53 seconds. Everyone was saying we couldn't win because of our size. It's not about size, it's about the size of your heart, Iverson said, per the Associated Press. Coming into the fourth quarter, we were all sitting on the sidelines saying, why not us? Why can't we be the ones to come back from a 19-point deficit in an All-Star game? That made Iverson the clear-cut All-Star MVP in the backyard of Georgetown, his alma mater during what would be the defining season of his Hall of Fame career. Number 4, 2003, MJ fades away. In the bigger picture, the 2003 All-Star Game wasn't the most glorious one for Michael Jordan. He wasn't voted as a starter, and though Vince Carter was kind enough to cede his spot in the East first 5, his airness didn't exactly deliver. He shot 9 of 27 from the field for 20 points during a 155-145 loss to the West. Despite all that, MJ nearly went down as both the hero and the GOAT in his final All-Star appearance. With overtime coming to a close, he rose for a patented baseline fadeaway jumper to put the East up 2 with 4 seconds left. Jordan would have had the last word if not for, you guessed it, Kobe Bryant. His airness's closest stylistic air drew a foul on a 3-point try at the other end, hit 2 of 3 free throws, and helped the West fend off the East in the second extra period. Kevin Garnett came out as the game's MVP, but for one shining moment, Jordan looked like he might ride off into the sunset with his 4th such trophy. Instead, he had to settle for a mantle stacked with 5 regular season MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 6 championship rings, plus scores of other awards and honors earned throughout arguably the most distinguished career in basketball history. Number 3, 1988, his airness rules the Windy City. All-Star Weekend in 1988 was all Michael Jordan, all the time and for good reason. The Chicago Bulls hosted the Windy City festivities with Jordan in the midst of arguably his greatest individual season. That year, he led the league in scoring, 35 points per game, steals, 3.2 per game, and minutes, 40.4 en route to the first of his 5 MVP trophies and his only Defensive Player of the Year award. The midseason weekend at Chicago Stadium served as Jordan's coming out party. On Saturday, he outdueled Dominique Wilkins in the slam dunk contest by flying from the free throw line not once but twice. The next night, they teamed up to lead the East to a 138-133 win over the West. But while Wilkins did well to score 29 points in 30 minutes, it was Jordan who took center stage. He scored 40 points, 2 shy of the single All-Star game record. With 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks in a performance that was not only MVP worthy, but also one of the greatest ever seen in the midseason showcase, I wanted to make sure Michael had the most butter on his bread, Detroit Pistons guard and Chicago native Isaiah Thomas said, who earned 8 of his 15 assists on dishes to Jordan per the New York Daily News. Thomas's Pistons got the best of Jordan's Bulls in that year's playoffs, though the era of his airness was coming. Number 2, in 1964, All-Stars almost walk out. NBA players might not be the multimillionaire moguls they are today without the brave efforts of 20 legends back in 1964. That year's All-Star game in Boston was scheduled to run in prime time on ABC, a watershed moment for the still fledgling league. Except there almost weren't any players to put on a show. Prior to the game, on a snowy Tuesday night in January, Boston Celtics legend Tommy Henson, then the president of the National Basketball Players Association, convinced the rest of the players to boycott the event if the league's 9 owners didn't agree to recognize and negotiate with the union. The players were controlled by the owners. Jerry West, who was slated to suit up for the Western Conference that night, told the Los Angeles Times' Mike Broshanen in 2011, "All of us felt like we were slaves in the sense we had no rights. No one made anything then. You had to work in the summer. It was the Stone Ages of basketball." The owners implored the players to reconsider their strike before angrily demanding they leave the locker rooms and head to the court. With game time quickly approaching and ABC's executives threatening to nix the broadcast, League Commissioner J. Walter Kennedy capitulated to the players' demands, which included a pension plan, improved working conditions, a friendlier schedule, and the ability to have the union collectively bargain contract deals with the owners. That was enough to pry the players out of hiding just in time for the start of a contest that would end up in a 111-107 win for the East. In truth, the real victors were all those who would pass in and out of the NBA during the 5+ decades since. Number 1, 1992, Magic's Kingdom. In November 1991, Magic Johnson told the world he would be retiring after contracting HIV. The world, however, voted in Johnson as an all-starter for the West anyways. Even though he stepped aside before the 1991 and 92 season began, not that he needed the practice, he was the star of the show from tip to buzzer, pacing the Western Conference in 25 points and assists, 9 to a 153-113 win in Orlando. Before the game, Isaiah Thomas, one of Johnson's closest friends, off the floor and most bitter rivals on it, led the other All-Stars in a line of embraces for the Los Angeles Lakers legend. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, rating down below, and comment which All-Star game moment is your favorite. See you guys next time. Have a great day.